I am pretty spaced out right now, I don't mind telling you. Got back to England around 3:30 Monday morning, 12.5 hour flight, then several hours on the trains or waiting for them. Get back to North Wales around noon, so I've been back a little over 24 hours, slept for 11 hours, which isn't like me, but when you've been conscious for like a day and a half, yeah, due to travel and being overstimulated, you have to crash eventually. And I crashed hard. Weird dreams last night. Strange. Anyway, Buenos Aires, what a great place. Very chilled in a lot of ways, people really friendly and welcoming for the most part. I was centered around San Nicolas and Montserrat, which is the main action zone, but I got out there into Recoleta most days, which I guess is the more well-to-do area of the city. Also went down to San Telmo a couple of times and did a bus trip around La Boca, but didn't do a walkabout as I was warned about the place by a dude on reception at our hotel and by other people, locals, giving me a heads up, which was good of them. But yeah, plenty to see, museums, cinemas, landmarks, tours, all that good stuff. I must have walked like at least 4 miles every day for 12 days, so yeah, do the math. Just exploring, really. Yeah. And I still won't have seen a great deal of the city, I think. It's fucking huge, Buenos Aires. So just like Tokyo, I wanted to stay longer. Would have liked to have gadded around for another couple of weeks, I think, but duty calls, got to get back to work. My advice to people thinking of going over, do it. Do it. It's well worth it if you can stomach the long plane rides. Also, get a subway card as soon as you get there. Little plastic sub-T, they call it. Makes it easier to shoot around the place because it is big, like I said. Also, if you haven't already, learn some basic Spanish. Depending on where you are and the circles you move in, you might find English speakers to be thin on the ground. So I would call my level of understanding caveman Spanish. I can grunt out a few key phrases about asking how people are, ordering food, asking where the toilet is. Yeah, basic understanding for sure, but you might find it essential. Even though, admittedly, my grasp of the language is the level of a child, it feels pretty good when you string a sentence together in another tongue and eureka, the other person understands you. However, for the most part, I couldn't understand the conversations going on around me, even though I'd have liked to. Other things about the trip. I was a bit naughty. I did indulge a little in the local wine and beer, which isn't usually my thing. But yeah, went on vacation. And I ate a fair bit of meat as well, abandoning my supposed vegetarianism, I guess, to sample the famous Argentine beef, which is pretty damn good. When you're not used to eating a certain thing, though, and then you consume a fair amount of it, your digestive system is, well, mine wasn't best pleased. It was asking me some questions rather angrily, like, what the fuck are you doing? And I also got up to some other naughtiness, but I won't go into that. I'll spare you the details. You know, you read a government website advising you about a certain place, a city or a country, And maybe all the negatively framed descriptions and crime stats might put you off, but with places like Buenos Aires and Cape Town, you really do have to see them for yourselves. Maybe take a few calculated risks. Go and have an experience. Don't let the gloom mongers stand in the way of a personal adventure.